All right, so on today's episode of Kommon Cents University, we spoke with Dario Shields. And initially, we set out to hear his side of the story. When we really sat down and had that conversation, we start to learn more about Dario Shields and, you know, more about this other side of Jamaica that, a lot of us don't even know that it exists because, we just see the finished product, but we don't actually see the process that goes into it. Dario shared personal moments of his dad, setting up his studio and, his journey from nothing really to now being one of the renowned names in the space. And, we had a very powerful conversation. I think you will love it. Subscribe and, ensure that you get kept in the loop whenever we release these new videos. I hope you enjoy the show. Welcome to another episode of the Kommon Cents podcast, and thank you for joining us. If this is your first episode, please remember to subscribe and also follow us on our socials at Kommon Cents University. Kommon Cents, make it make sense. So today we have a real visionary in the building, a man who took the camera, a dream, and a whole heap of ambition and turned it into award-winning films, a thriving business, and a movement for young creatives across Jamaica. So he's the mind behind DGA Studios and one of Montego Bay's finest storytellers with over 20 films and documentaries in his name. He's putting Jamaica's creativity on a global map. So this episode is about passion, purpose, and the power of building something from nothing. Dario Shields, welcome to Kommon Cents University.
Why, Dario Shields, I thought it was me who talked about him as I'm a changer, and all of these things. But me about 20 films when I said Jaja. Dario. Dario! What one, sir?
Yeah, man, me there, man. What going?
That's a lot.
Welcome.
That's a lot. Jackson just talk about for a man who look like him just reached 20,
Everybody says that it's the vampire effect because I look like I'm not in my 20s, but I look 20s.
You look 20.
And
that
I guess
is good, man.
Because I'm a positive person and I try to live as good as I can.
That is it. So happy to have you on here tonight with us, as well as Witta the Legend as co-host.
Yeah, no introduction there for me. Sorry. No, let's move forward.
All right, so I know you and Witta know you as well, because I think you worked together in the past on some projects and stuff. But before we get into the headlines and all of that, tell us, who is Dario? Who's Dario Shields?
I'd like to think that I'm a human that just loves to create. I love to build things. I love to help to be a part of telling and sharing stories. I guess in the simplest form, I guess that's what it is. Persons have done a few articles about me, and so I've kind of engraved it in my bio now that says I'm the accountant turned filmmaker. So that's really what I guess is the easiest way to put it, Yeah.
I didn't know that you was an accountant, man.
Yeah, we never know that.
What's that?
I didn't know that you were an accountant. The funny enough, recently interviewed an accountant and now, look like an accountant.
I saw the interview. It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Accountant already placed it up.
Well, the thing is, I don't practice anymore. I don't practice anymore. I think I love accounting, but I've actually found another love. I found something that's more of what I don't call work, but more so my purpose. More so me just elevating and building and just creating beautiful, beautiful life from basically nothing sometimes, So, yeah.
All right, so I have a question for you because a lot of people, because when somebody speaks, them call it properly in Jamaica and so forth, them say it's an uptown youth, Uptown and come from and that's and get all of them even go spoon in bandwidth. Tell me, where did you grow up and where you're from? Tell me about you.
I grew up in one place named Mount Salem. I grew up in it was one bedroom, and there were 6 of us in that bed. Well, 5 of us in the bedroom. And then my younger brother was born, so that became 6. Because of how crazy it was. 1 bedroom, like not bedroom, bathroom, kitchen, living room, dining room, nothing. Just a bedroom. Board house. Board pan the ground and tear out. So if you know what good, you know, say yo Ray, you drop out and everything there. So yeah, it was yeah. And then, you know, after a while, my father left the house. He didn't live with us anymore. My aunt moved in. We used to move around quite a lot until I eventually ended up in Rose Heights. And I'm talking about when Rose Heights did hot. So like there were times when I reached home. So my gentleman in Lane would be like, yo, college man, because he used to call me college man. I used to go to Cornwall College.
Oh, okay.
College man, you have nothing for the pan the road.
Learn or leave.
No, man, it's never no learn or leave. Is actually duck or dead, you know? In that regard.
No, I can't know talking about this is
No, yeah. No, man, we know see I can't write.
yeah. Okay.
But I mean, in terms of the community, right? They'd be like, and I always share, and it's like, it's very weird to see it because sometimes you'd see some of these people and they'd be on the road and then probably a clean gun or whatever it is, right? And when they do them thing, they say, oh, college man, you come on the road again? You know, all right, lock in. So you know what go on. You understand? So I grew up seeing these people around my age, and then they eventually just did not make it to 18, to 17, to 20. You know, and it's heartbreaking. You know, it's because of that, you know, one of the reasons why I actually wanted to, and I guess I'll share it now because we spoke about it before the start of it, where I created this thing because my brother and I, we were very, very, very different. We still are. I wrote this book that I called Ghetto Born, God Raised. Because, you know, it's interesting. A lot of people ask me the question and think I'm uptown because I speak proper sometimes.
Yeah, because I'm not here this now is, you know what I mean?
No, man, no, honestly, me, I get a boy, I grew up with, I play football on the road, me never so good still, but me used to play the football still, you understand? Used to run and me used to fast. But,
yeah.
But we used to play like a football, we used to play like a cricket and them thing there. And I mean, I used to do all of those things. We used to play marble, you know, side on side to the girl, them and them look at something there. You know, all of them something to play box truck, the whole 9 yards. But my mom was very strict. She was serious about it. She said, this is what I was on, this was what me can give. But that don't mean said this is where you're supposed to stay. You know? She always tried to push me. I mean, I don't know how I ended up getting money to do CXC because the payment for CXC, I always say it, was paid about, well, the slip was paid, was brought to my teacher when she was heading to her car to drop off the stuff. So I almost never did CXC.
Whoa.
How I got to APE and so forth was because a gentleman in my church at the time believed in me and said, yo, no, say, I'm going to help you out. I think you're a good youth. And he gave me what people would call a blank check. He said, whatever it costs, just write down the number. The check won't bounce. And he knew and he helped me to become a man of integrity. So because of that, I wrote the amount. I did a whole calculation thing. Remember, accountant and thing. I did a whole calculation and thing. And I wrote the amount. I told him on a piece of paper first. And then I showed him. He's like, yeah, that's cool. And he said, put on 500,000 money. I was like, okay. And I did, and that is what helped me to get through, you know, to get through sixth form, and then I put myself through college while working and so forth. So yeah, it was never easy. I always said to people, you might see the glory, but you really don't know the story. You know?
I tell you, I really don't know the story. And the book.
There's so much more. I swear to God. But you know,
the book. When did you write that book? And how did it come about?
You know, say funny.
And you mentioned it, yeah.
I wrote the book while I was at Kommon Cents in 2008, right? So people start aging me now. Yes, I wrote the book when I was at Kommon Cents in 2008, right? And I lost the book. I lost it because the manuscript, someone stole my laptop while I was at school playing basketball. someone stole my laptop, and I didn't know about backing up stuff and then turn there yet, you know. So I lost it and I had to rewrite the book, and I think that was a blessing in itself, because in me rewriting the book, I wrote it more powerful, I wrote it better, and I think that it truly encapsulated me not just being ghetto born, but God raised. Because if it wasn't for God, Monday, I said, no, that's the honest truth. So yeah.
Powerful, powerful. Big up to humanity for laptop. I know what you're saying about. Big up.
It's a blessing in disguise. So what? So in all of that you've said so far, how did you transition from all of that? You know, you mentioned that you were an accountant. How do you transition into photography, like or videography? What inspired that?
All right, funny story, see? So I completed come see 2008, 2010. I took a break, and then afterwards 2011 to 2013, Mr. Mwanga Harvard University. And enough. Go through the whole process.
Ambitious.
No man, I'm very ambitious. My mom always I say to people, my mom told me never to settle for less. So like I always push beyond any. You see, if it's impossible, I go do it. I do something naturalistic. If it's impossible, I go do it. More challenge myself to do it. So basically, what had happened was, you know that line. What happened was, yeah. So I went during the second stint at Kommon for another course and stuff. I went to what do I call it now? I went to this rehearsal. Like, it's not rehearsal, but I went to an interview. See? Interview is not the right word. Can't remember right now. But anyways, I went to this casting call. I went to a casting call with a friend of mine. She wanted me to just play a little role with her, kind of like answer some questions for her on camera. So I did, and the people them did really like it. So they said to me, yo, say, they like how I speak. So they're asking if I would want to be a part of it. So they asked for something, and I got accepted to be a part of Jamaica's team to go to LA. Yeah, man. So I represented Jamaica at the World Championships of Performing Arts in 2013. To not make a story too long, I did pretty good, much better than I expected. I did acting, and I actually got a lot of recognition. I also got a 2-year acting scholarship. And also did rapping. I think that's how me and Wita did officially meet them time they come used to the music. And I did some rapping.
K-Styles in the building.
I don't mention any. All right.
Hey,
Dario.
No one. So what ended up happening is that I ended up. I was really successful at it, but I left from LA back to Jamaica, and during the entire flight back, and so the flight from LA to Jamaica very, very long. So during the entire flight, between waking up and sleep and waking up and sleep, and I'm up there again, all I could think about was, yo, damn, this is nice. I was making money as an accountant. I did take care of my family. Everything did nice. But I came back and I was around the desk at work, and I just wasn't myself. I wasn't happy. Photography for me was always like a hobby. It was always something that was just cool. You take up your phone, you click button. Just like skating and so forth, But I was at work one day, and I was looking for a pen in my drawer. And when I opened it up, I saw all these papers crinkle up. And when I started looking at them, there were story ideas, notes of songs, all kind of different stuff. And I went to my boss and I said, yo, something all right. Can I take the rest of the day off? She said, okay. So I took the rest of the day off. I went by the ocean, right out by One Man Beach there. So for Wita and whoever knows there. And I was just sitting there, and my sister messaged me. Time people send her that message, that one message what kind of stress you right out. She sent me the message and said, how are you? The most dangerous message you can send to a man. Literally.
I'm telling you something. If you don't know how somebody is not send a message,
Exactly.
Won't tell you.
No, trust me. I took up my phone, right? And I was sending a voice note. And I found myself crying. And I was saying, yo, I just don't feel happy. I don't know what I was doing. And I did not realize what I was sending until after it was sent. I'm going to find me a ball. Zin? So she said, take some time off. I'm sure you have vacation. Come over and spend some time with me. So I looked at it and I said, yo, my vacation time done. Can we just go to LA for 3 weeks? Me nah, no vacation I get for now. So I looked at everything and I was like, I have some money in a savings. I'm really good at this accounting thing, so I can get my next job. So I quit my job and I went overseas and I was there for about 3.5 months. And every time while I was there, I was watching shows. I was watching movies. I was like just researching stuff. And I didn't even realize until after I was on my way back. You see, every time I come back to Jamaica, I always some type of thing happening, you know. But anyways, on my way back to Jamaica, I was looking at my notes and stuff. And I saw that, yo, this is interesting. So I said, you know, I'm going to try the photography thing. We'll try a little thing with it. And nobody never did pay me no mind. I was a nobody. I was nothing. So I ended up doing a movie, long and short, fast forward a little bit in the story. I ended up doing a movie with 2 phones, 2 cell phones, not this year, 2 Samsung Galaxy S3. S3? Yes. 2 Samsung Galaxy S3. And the movie was not that great in terms of visuality.
Was it the movie with Riggs, the artist from Want to Go Here?
No, man, not that one, man. Not that one.
Oh.
Way before that one. Way before that.
Okay.
But that movie with Riggs is bad, man. Bad.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the movie, it never shoot good, it never sound good, and what if a problem happened with it, right? But what was good is that it had a story. And because it had a story, it incited something inside of me to do it again. Officially, I have 29 films that have been completed. And I have written to date 78 scripts, 5 of which are feature films. Do I want to produce them? Yes.
78.
Yeah. Do I want to produce them? Yes. Do I feel ready? I don't know. Because I'm a person that I work with energy. You know, and if the energy not right, I'm not going to do it. Because otherwise I go foolishness. I've done the films, and if the energy in the film don't feel right, I'm not going to show it. So I have 29, but most people know about 15, 16. Yeah. So
what are some of the more famous ones?
All right, so I did a movie called Knock Knock.
God, please multiply our little so we can be a blessing to those without. Amen.
Is it still a hard no? Yeah, I'd probably for a phone call. I want to run a simple test.
You would lay down your life for him. Deny God, and you will live.
I have over $500,000 in the safe.
Who are you?
Which was a movie that was sponsored by JAFTA. That movie got a lot of awards internationally. It's a film literally giving away the story in a sense. Jesus come on earth as a bad man. Like that's the
that alone make me want to watch it. That alone make me want to watch it.
Jesus,
but you know, funny enough to say that. Listen, mother, don't beat me, no man. Big man, you can't beat me. Listen, me. No, listen, man. Funny enough to say that, you know. I tell people that, you know, he was definitely moving like a Dan. Because which man, you know, gonna move on earth with 12 disciples, and all of them used to run off turfs. But anyway, we'll get to that the next time.
Be a pure general surround him.
I want to ask you, what was the first camera you owned? Yeah? And how you come about that camera?
You know, say, honestly, all right, so you remember I said to you, say, I go overseas, and I spend some time with my sister and just, you know, trying to figure out my life and just relaxing a little bit. Call it my little vacation in a sense. I went, so I came back to Jamaica, couldn't find a job. Not because I'm not talented or whatever, but I wanted a part-time job so that I could pursue this film thing. Part-time too, so figure it out, make some money while building my thing. And that don't work. You have to lock into whatever you're doing. So for people who are listening, you have to lock into whatever you're doing. You can't do You can't have your hand in a too much basket, it's not gonna work. So
Gotcha.
I was getting the jobs, but when they saw that I'm actually pretty good in this accounting thing, them say, me can't get a part-time job. You have to be a full-time job. I may apply for a job where that I will be a supervisor. I'm at a supervisor level, and yet may I apply for being like the junior accountant or whatever.
Yeah.
So they were like,
Entry level.
that will work. So either they offered and I turned down, or I wanted that and them say, oh no. So it never worked out. So I went back overseas. I still have one little cushion of money left, right? And I went back overseas and I just wanted to go by some of my friends in Florida. So I went down there and we were talking and stuff. So we went by Walmart and I saw this camera in there. It was like $200 and something. And it was a Canon Rebel T3. Right?
Rebel.
A Rebel. Yeah, man. I was a Rebel with a Rebel. See it?
Yeah.
And I tell her, like, I'm gonna send you a picture. Like, I have that picture still. That picture, I think I need to frame it and put it up in the studio, because now we have some big bad camera now and stuff. And like, I've worked.
Where started from, man?
Yeah, man. But that camera, everybody want to buy it. Every single body want to buy it. I can't tell her. Can't get up and go to the right studio right.
The Rebel is a legend.
Yeah, man. No,
legend in the film industry. Yeah,
that's where I started off. They didn't have the prettiest pictures compared to now, where may have 10-bit color and them something there. But like it did not have that level and grade and all kind of stuff. But what it does have was it had spirit, it had heart. You get me? I say it had you have to hungry for it. You're not gonna make certain things good unless you're hungry. When you get the big arrays and the I'm something there. It's nice.
It does a lot of work for you. I find the newer cameras.
But when you're
the
hungry,
older ones, you had to be skilled. You have to have the skill.
It's not just skill. You have to be willing to put in the work for it. You're not got the fancy lighting like what I have. You not got this. You not got the f1.2 lens. You got one f4 lens and them something that you have to work with what you have until you can get what you want. So that's naturally been the start.
So how did you turn that into a business though? Because I know, like I don't remember the type of camera, but I had a camera back in the day that I got from a relative, and I used to take some picture, but I couldn't turn it into a business at all. I couldn't make it.
Jackson, you have picture, man.
For the family.
All right. So what's your pre, right?
Someone tell us something to take picture too.
No man, with a take picture, man. With a bad funny picture, man. But so what happened was, right? Oh, drink your water, man. I always go boost up drinking water.
Oh, okay, that is it.
So what happened, right, is that a friend of mine was doing a project.
Yeah.
And she was very skeptical about it because she never know what she do and whatever. At the time I studied film, so I didn't understand things to a level. So I did have that same Rebel camera there. And I help her with it, organizing the project and so forth, shooting it and stuff. So she got an A+ for it. Fast forward, she sold it to her father. Her father, whose name I won't name now, she sold it to her father. And her father was so pleased, he introduced the project to a company that wanted an advertisement, the Jamaica Swamp Safari. And then guess who they reach out to? Little old me.
Gotcha.
So my first project that was paid was to the Jamaica Swamp Safari. Now I gave them a figure. They asked me
your first project was a commercial?
Yeah. My first paid project.
You start off running.
No, I start off line. Because that project went on TV. And
listen, man, the man talk about the Hunger Days. The man talk about the Hunger Days. This is the first thing you must have put that plate now. Your first paid project, right?
Yeah, man. No, me I tell you the truth, man. And say.
So you're saying that they tell you to give a figure. Continue from there.
Man, so they gave me a figure, right? So they asked me, give me a quote. So, me don't know about pricing and something. At the time, nobody in Jamaica now met me. And they said to me, give them a figure. So I gave them the figure. And the lady comes back, and it's so humbling because this teach me about never underestimating your worth. And people will always know your worth way more than you do. Will they respect it? That's a different thing. But anyways, so I gave them a figure, and they said to me, okay, we're going to give you X and X. And in fact, me say it. That's cool. I told them I charge them $15,000 to do it. Right? And remember, I don't know nothing about the game. I don't know nothing about the game, honestly. I told him I was going to hey, listen, I don't want nobody while listen to this thing, so you can ask me if you do not 50,000. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. You see me?
Man.
Yes,
So,
hold on. No, yesterday's price
it's
not today's price.
But anyway,
Yeah.
what end up happening now is that I sent them the thing and a quotation, and I draft up one quotation thing and sent to them.
Yeah.
So she sent me a message and said, Dario, I can't send this to my boss. I'm gonna pay you $60,000. How is that? So she gave me, so you have people again who you will tell them a price and then go ball it down. She never ball it down. She quadrupled it. You know what I mean? Because I think she saw something inside of me, and even to date, she always calls me to check on me. She's overseas now. She always calls me to check on me, make sure I'm good, make sure everything all right, make sure I eat and something there. And we did the project, and it was so good. It went on TV and stuff. So I did another one, and I got introduced to a lot of people. And I created like an Instagram page at the time, and then afterwards, I get out of hand now. So my virgin at the time said to me, Dario, see a time for you to start up the company. Do your thing. So in 2016, officially, I registered my company, DGA Studios, as a sole trader.
10 years ago.
Yeah, actually 10 years ago now.
All of my things.
What's that?
Yes,
all of my
age.
10 years ago.
Yeah, man. No, man. So I've been doing this thing from way before then, but it went on paper.
Officially. On paper, no.
You know? I mean, it was so humbling to see that piece of paper. I still have it. And I mean, to see where I am now versus then, it's just humbling because people reach out. You have people who need to post them work online to try to get work.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really post.
More recommendation. So that's all your passion started to make profit, right? That's how your passion turned into a business, profitable business. That you went ahead and registered the company and all of that. So now, as you're on that profitable aspect of it, what some of the corporate is different from the real world. I was a real world mean you're gonna link a man and say, say, we shoot the video. You're gonna tell himself, I did a 3-minute commercial or a minute commercial for this and that. So you're gonna get a price, so say 200,000. But they don't see you in the music world as that. How did that work, and how did you transition? Did you try after that, or you change it to the straight movies?
Honestly, movies were like a backseat thing for me at the time. I was just trying to figure out myself. I was trying to understand what this world of creativities and so forth. So for me, what ended up happening is that I do like a movie here and there, but I try to figure it out. I try push my hand in every little basket to try to figure out where I can find a little thing or make a little money and then make something there. And then after a while, it became a little bit better because, like I said, I didn't really have much guidance. Most of the persons who I knew were in Kingston. I mean, they never really could afford all of that type of stuff, So what ended up happening is that I chose to do a more slow progression to try to understand things, to understand what I now call the psychology of film, right? And it got to a point where I became really, really good at it that I did 4 classes now where I taught people how to do films and stuff. And it was so profound and so good. The feedback was so awesome that I got nominated for a Prime Minister Youth Award in 2017. And I was shortlisted, and I was beaten by Chronics. And I mean, honestly, people usually ask me how I feel about it. When I talk about Chronix was Chronix. He's
Yeah,
still
yeah.
Chronix. When I talk about when he scam, but
we understand.
You see me? So I mean, I felt really humbled by just being called among some of the greats. I got nominated for the Governor General Award, and then awards started coming in. We start the more films, and things just start, get bigger and better and stuff. So I mean, I'm humbled.
So, it's interesting that you spoke about you training others and stuff like that. So there's a young man right now, or a young lady right now in the living room, in the bedroom, watching this podcast, right? So that one person watching the podcast right now, what advice would you give to them if they're trying to start a career in
Film, yeah.
like what advice would you have for them?
Well, the advice is based on where they are. Mentally, financially, physically, socially, emotionally, all of the alleys there, where they are, right? And I would say start where you are. Many people, I've seen it because cameras are so cheap, quote unquote, because you have your money. So you can buy one $4,000 or $5,000 camera, and you have buy one $3,000 lens, and you say, come on, man, I'm the best thing in the world, right? Because I have a bossy gears. But I always say start with understanding where you're going to kind of get, start with understanding where you're going by starting where you are. Zane? So for example, if you want to do music, if you want to be a music video, you want to shoot music videos, link up one of your friend them who sing and say, oh, here we go, let me shoot a music video. You don't have the camera, that's fine. Use your phone. Use your phone. You get me? I say you don't have no fancy lens, or you don't have no light. Use one flashlight. Like use the light in the living room. Use what you have, and surround. Very very important. Surround yourself with like-minded people. Don't surround yourself with negative people. That's one whole next thing for one whole next world. See? Because when you surround yourself with negative people, what you'll find is they will draw you down. They'll say some little stuff to attack you unconsciously, and so attack your subconscious by saying stuff like, yo, something like that video, the way look on the video versus X person. No, so you're going to take a while to get that. Or your person might have a fancy camera, and then they have the fancy camera, and then they put the camera on auto, not knowing if you put in a manual and put your f.1.2 and shutter speed your 1000.
You know that remind me of
weighty and stuff,
Some people have some very smart phone and a phone smart and them. They don't really know.
Oh yeah. I think that people don't spend time understanding what they have in front of them, and they also don't reach out to see. The people afraid of embarrassment, and it's because you're afraid of embarrassment and pride and everything like that, you don't try to go out. And I want to always have to rate with with her. You always push yourself. Like for one, you always say about you, bro, is that you push yourself. You give yourself your flowers before the world give you your flowers.
Hey, I tell the story already, because I got an interview by Jackson, and I tell them that I used to call myself the billboard artist. People used to laugh after me and say, I must say billboard, or them put on the road, say the shows about billboard. So and this is what you have. People who are listening, you have to will yourself. Yeah. Words, and once you speak these words, you will actually move towards these type of things. And what I want to know, what's one of your proudest moment? Because we have so much questions I have to try now. What's one of your proudest moment where you achieve something by yourself? Whoa, this is me? I know you have quite a few. Which one stand out to you?
I would say two. On a personal level, I think one of my proudest moments was the day when I did the opening for the studio. What I loved about it is some of my family members were there, including my father. And for persons who know me, they always wonder why I don't speak about my father. I didn't grow up with him. That's the truth. Felt disappointed by him for a while until we became solid and stuff. And just seeing the look on his face, like, yo, I am proud of you. And afterwards, he came to me, and I realized that he had like something on his face. And one of the photographer for the event captured a photo of him crying, looking at me speaking. And it was so profound, it was so beautiful to me. A big man about, if you see him, his eldest son, doing this thing that he doing this, you know,
Humble beginning. Yeah.
This dream, you know. So I think that's one of my proudest moments, being able to make my father proud. And that's on that level. And I think on a more recent level, I think it was getting the opportunity to shoot one of my favorite artists, which is Alkaline, on the Big Bad stage, you know. So yeah, I think that would be one of my
the better way. Understand?
All right, moving right along.
Moving right
along.
Go ahead.
So now that you mentioned that, so you work with like some really big entertainers and really big artists. No disrespect to Alkaline, you know, obviously is a superstar. What's the experience really like working with someone on that level?
Honestly, it gives you it gives you the opportunity to mentally lock in. But for me personally, I'm not friend for people. That's the truth. I'm not friend for nobody.
Yeah.
Because you may be here right there and you do one powerful song and you're going, we up. You have a powerful, you be right here, so, and you get a good management, you're going, we up. You get me, I say? So for me, I treat the janitor the same way I treat the CEO. So if an artist who have no type of big name or nothing like that come and say, Dario, I want to do a music video, may have a conversation. If me and one big artist sit down and we say we're going to work on this project, may have the same type of conversation. Where do you want to go with this? What we're looking at? What's your budget like? What's your team like? What you doing? And for me, I got the opportunity to work with Neom. I work with Tyrese. I got to work with Dexter Daps. I work with some pretty cool artists like King Joel in the US. I got the opportunity to work with Cartel after he just came out of prison. I was the one that
shot that picture. I saw the video. Yeah.
So I did that. I've done a lot of big projects and I've done a lot of small projects. So for me personally, the artists and where they are in life,
you don't get the opportunity to work with me, sir. Look how long me appoint as me. Just mention me that the big names of get a clip, man. Get a
with a way of a personal conversation. I'm not supposed to show you what I'm going, man. I want to listen, man.
Continue.
But yeah, I've worked with some really amazing artists, very, very talented people, and yeah, even like for example, I worked on the Protocol video.
They love chat and run them blah.
Protocol by Sting and Tamale, and I tell you, say, like the first time I heard the song, they were like, yo, I can't send you the song can't release yet, and you can't release any of this video footage. And I was like, okay, cool. And then play a song, I'm like, and I'm like, as the song started playing, I was like, yo, that song you go bad. Go bad. I'm stepping the video. And I mean, it was really, really, when I see the progress of it and all kind of stuff, I was like, yeah, I got to work on the Chris Brown and Friends. I worked on a lot of different stuff, like, and most of them I don't really remember because, like I said, I take every project for what it is, a project. If it's big, it's big. If it's small, it's small. That's naturally how I am. You see me?
So from projects working with artists to events, a lot of people don't understand when a roaming cameraman in an event, what it entails and what it's about and how you need to get your job done and the things that you face. Walk us through an event as you're shooting an event and a roaming cameraman. How you come about?
So that's one of the most complex shoots, to be honest. So I have this super big harness, right, that I use to stabilize myself. I'll send you a picture of it and stuff, right, and how it works, right? And then I have the camera with like a big battery pack and multiple lenses in my pocket and so forth, right? But what the roaming camera does is like it's a wireless receiver and transmitter system that it's sent to a board. You send it to the board, and the person operating the board would look at it and say, all right, I shot your bot, send it up. Right? So it's up to me to identify the shots. Because, like, for example, you got one party, and the party, you get hot at a certain time, right? But you know you want to build up the party, you want to build up the energy. You get me? I say you don't want the party start off lame. So for me, you know, there's gonna be these screens at the venue. Sometimes we run a back, sometimes up by the front and so forth, kind of like some face and whatever, right? So what happened is, for me, I identify using like a super zoom lens or something like that. I identify vibes. When I see the vibes, I send out the vibes. And when you send out the vibes, what end up happening is like people see themselves on camera and they're like, oh my God, and you know, them start, you know, act up and then get a nice little buzz from it and stuff. You identify other people. So people now see themselves and they're like, oh, when me go get to go up on camera. You get me, I say? And then
hold on. Before you continue, hold on. So what me notice we do no cameraman too, you know. Tell me something. Does the producer say, hey, make sure we don't want to see no ugly girl? I'll be a cute girl, cute outfit. Like, we notice when you look on the screen, a pure cute girl you see at the party, I say, yo, we don't understand a pure cute girl at the party.
For me, I usually pure girl me see. So, you understand? So,
all right. Good answer.
You understand? So,
go
up everybody, man. I make sure that everybody nice, everybody feel. And then I also, so like one of the things most persons don't do, right, is that most persons are like, they're on their camera, right, and they're looking down at the camera, like, look down at the monitor, like, shoot. I can't seem like a perverted in that sense. So what I do is like, I'll be looking down at the camera, make sure it's framed properly, right? And after it's framed properly, what I'm going to do is I'm looking around. I'm looking around. I'm like, boom, I'm bringing the camera upon them. You get me? I said? So I'm bringing camera upon them now, then kind of have a buzz. Or if, like, for example, if I've seen it quite a lot of events. You know, people, they are party with them. And for them people, then they are party with.
Yeah.
You know, so you have to just kind of not show that one day. Left that one day. You know, say if your shot looks sweet, like, you know, you go to, you know, you say
I saw I get the CEO brother there in a trouble, you know. Put him on it. Not you.
Hold on. What's it? Hold on.
Oh, but I don't mind.
There was this. No, not your fault, but the cameraman fault, because then pick up this couple in the background, and it turns out that it was like this executive.
Yeah. Oh, look at it. All right, come on, you're okay. Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
That was
Gotcha.
Maybe they say if you go out and you go have fun and things, you know the camera out there. So if you know say, oh, stay in your car and listen to music from the parking lot. You understand?
Yeah.
Or go on an ultra VIP where you can look on the security them and say, oh, no cameraman no want to.
Yeah, it's just you doing a job. But let's a Roman cameraman. We're gonna identify the elephant in the room. Something happened when you were doing that at an event as a roaming cameraman. Before we get into that, have you ever had any issues like that, but it's not publicized? What are the difficulties you face when a man probably will have a kind of running friend and you come with a camera and say, yo, I don't want to lift up that. No lie. How does it work that party?
All right, remember, I know, I grew up in a ghetto.
I'm
very street smart. Me know, might speak is spooky, as people would say, right? But the street smart. So if me realize, say, oh, the vibes over there, so now go vibe, more left you alone. You see me? Low it alone. You see me? But if me realize, say, oh, you can go on and say, all right, so like, for example, if you know say some love song I play, and you see a man lock off with a girl one type of way, right? And you see the
camera.
Left that alone. But if you see the vibes are going, and you see a man lock off with the girl and two of them just stay in a bunks, drop that penny. If you don't comfortable, you move it off. You understand? Yeah. If one like a gangster song I play, and you see man them about saying light or whatever. and you see the pre, and you say, oh, drop it. But if a man don't comfortable, you left it alone. And again, it comes with spatial awareness. It comes with experience. It comes with being able to see what going on and being more aware of what's happening.
You said being in events is one of the most difficult things for you. What incident kind of outstanding? You know, I mentioned a name, but this is something I as a judge. What if I continue doing events?
Well, if you're speaking about the Dream Weekend situation,
why
right?
so go on.
If you're speaking about the Dream Weekend situation, I mean, honestly, that I get deal with over there, so. But when it comes on to events, I'm not afraid of anything. I'm not afraid of anybody. You get me, I say? So, I mean, I love shooting. Give me a camera and I'm the happiest kid on the block. I'm like a kid on a hot Sunday.
So that doesn't discourage you, and so probably doesn't need to stick to movies and the people, elegance people. Still make you want to go in the street dance or events. The Dream Weekend thing don't discourage you, like I say, yo, I'll load this alone and just deal with corporate, you know. What is it?
No, because most of the people that I knew that I work with in corporate were there. Dream Weekend is a corporate function. It's very, very, very personal. You get me? I say, because even after the incident happened, they came, they checked on me. Even yesterday, they called me, how's everything going, blah, blah, blah. And like, I don't have issues. I mean, and there's always safety protocols and stuff to protect you as a person, as an employee per se, about, well, from anything at all. Like, for example, the day when we were shooting the water party, right, Wet and Wild, there were people there drunk, because they were drinking, they were having fun, but you know, liquor get a level what they can't manage. And then what happened is they were shooting their guns, right, the water gun.
Oh,
at the camera.
Okay, yeah.
No, man, it's very, very safe, very safe. So they were shooting the water guns at the camera. And one of the security them go over there and say, yo,
the camera, no camera expensive, man.
We ain't even gonna get into that, but yeah.
What we have our next question, Selena, but what impact do you think the cameraman has on the events? What impact or what role do you think you guys play?
I think that's one of the most important jobs there.
I was just about to say.
No, man, because guess what? The artist, big deal, man. But here's the thing about it, right? It's when a person captures it from their phones, it go look good enough. But, oh my God! And I say it, I go, huh? You get me? But the cameraman, the cameraman or the cinematographer or the videographer would be more detailed, and they're going to want to catch the shots smooth. You're going to want to catch the angles. You're going to want to catch reactions from the crowd and so forth. So like, for example, on about Monday or Tuesday, I'm going to start dropping the Dream Weekend videos and stuff. So you will see a different perspective from what other person.
Which channel and where should we look for it?
Oh, so it's gonna be on my personal page, which is DGA Studios, and it's going to be a collaboration.
Must be a nice streets when you would name the big. Let's spell that.
I'm gonna put it on screen.
Okay,
but,
okay.
So is that going to capture the moment with the artists? We can call him
the star man.
Yeah, the elephant in the room.
Well, honestly, you see, I kind of missed some of that footage because of the altercation happened. I have before and I have somewhat after. But during the incident in question that you're talking about, the camera was somewhat what's the right word? The camera wasn't functioning at the time in order to get it. Because the incident
you miss out some things. But you know, I know what I must applaud you by saying. I have to say this. I know it's a legal matter and you don't want to go into it. But the fact that how you dealt with it, I have to applaud you. That shows that you are experienced and you did a certain poise. And we have to, well, I have to applaud you for how it was dealt with.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Sure, could I done right this up?
As a person's doing some videos, say, oh, effort in me, yo, this and that.
Me.
I should have. But
Well,
how you dealt with it, I must applaud you because, hey, I was a rough one. I was definitely a rough one.
you know,
do you think this is going to change?
I saw it, and I didn't even realize it was you. You know what I mean? And when I realized, I said, Jaja, I genius, man. Oh, look at I'm just joking.
you know what's I am a person who I have a really, really powerful mind, in a sense, right? And what I mean by that is that I listen to Stoic teachings. I listen to meditation music. I'm a person who, weirdly as it sounds, I journal. I think journal is very good for men. And I also have a mother who, she may have passed, but she raised, who she forced into me from a very young age that you don't have to stoop to certain levels. You get me? I say you are only remembered. Well, not you're only remembered. You are remembered the most by your last interaction with someone. I was in front of about 6,000 people, and then based on the persons who were live and all kind of stuff, probably about 2 million people, right? So everybody always asks me like, what was that look on my face, right? And I always say to them, like, there are two things. The first one I won't mention, and it's not negative. So the second one was honestly, look at this gentleman that I have so much respect for. I grew up practicing his moves and those type of stuff. I was never, big dancer or anything like that, but I was practicing his moves, and I was like, wow.
You're used to the river upon the bank.
It's meeting you. What do you mean, man? I'm going to tell you, man. I have something, brother. I have something. Yeah.
What kind of party river upon the bank?
Signal the
Oh, you mean?
But I think what you're trying to say is that you were somewhat disappointed or let down in somewhat.
Yeah, someone that you look up to, yeah.
By someone.
I mean, honestly, I expected more. I expected better. You see, in Spider-Man, they say with great power comes great responsibility. For me, I would say with great attention comes great accountability. You get me? I say? And for me personally, I get a lot of attention in a lot of different spaces. Maybe not on that level, right? Unfortunately, no, I'm seen almost everywhere, right? But you have to be a person of integrity. You're given responsibilities. You're given gifts of fame and money, and girls love you off and something there, right? But what you do with it will tell how history remembers you.
You're a tough man, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, what I would want to ask, does that? I think we talk a little about it. Does it change your approach? Because for me, like for example, if I'm driving and something happened at a specific part of the road, when I'm going at that part again, I'm kind of cautious or whatever. Does it change your approach on doing events like this? Does it change it?
So the event
when you're doing it, how you go about it differently? If needs be.
So what happened? The event, that situation that you're speaking about, it happened on I think August 1st into the morning of the 2nd, right? I still had to go and shoot the Wet and Wild at midday in the next few hours. I went there. I took off my gimbal and I was shooting me up on the ground, all that type of stuff there. But they in a
Regular
people face.
settings.
So like you
When
have to
Armand
compartmentalize and move on.
same energy. You understand? Because guess what? I'm not the type of person who is going to allow what happened before to someone or by someone who you don't like me, no. You don't like me, and that's fine. You don't respect me, that's on you. But I'm going to respect. I'm going to show empathy. I'm going to be professional all times. You get me? I say? I had a conversation with the team at Dream. Everything was good. The securities were good. The police were good. Everybody good. We good. You know, one of the artists, I won't name the person, at one of the shows, I won't name the show, came up to his road manager came up to me and said, yo, so the boss wants some clips from you know. So, I can't boss me. But we're not gonna push it down, we're not gonna push it down. I was like, really? Really?
Big up the artists. Big up the artists.
Me, DJ, everybody on the stage at the time. What's it, right? Even somebody, even like the host of the night and stuff. We're just laughing about it. Like, it's just a laugh about it. That specific isolated situation is being dealt with in an isolated manner, where honestly I'd want it to be dealt with in the most honest, most beautiful, most humbling manner. Because it's a brother of respect. I personally have no wills or anything like that, but
listen, man, I'm me. But Janet have to run a trip.
Yo, anyway. Yeah.
Let's talk about the legacy that you're looking to leave behind. The legacy that you're looking to leave behind. You have done so much. What's the legacy you're looking to leave behind?
Well, honestly,
I don't want to question that.
Powerful. But I don't think that a person's legacy is left to one moment. I think it's the summation of who you are. I think it's the summation of what you let me see the right word. Then again, we don't need to come up with the right word. I think it's the summation of who you are, of what you overcome, what you have done with what you have. And so for me, I try to make sure that every single moment that I have, whether it's a good moment, whether it's interacting with somebody who me see on the road, I beg me $10. If we don't have a $10, you know, me don't have to see how dirty boy going on the money. You understand? We can just simply say, honestly, I don't have it right now. Because the experience I have with this person now, maybe 10 years from now, you reach into that situation, them come out of the situation, and you have to beg them $10. They're going to remember. People might not remember what you say to them, but they will always remember how you made them feel. You see me? So for me,
your legacy is the impact.
Yeah, man. I always try to make sure that, you know, whatever interaction I have with people, it's always as good as I am able to. I've had very bad days, very, very bad days. And, you know, we talked about it off air just now. And I said that, in fact, I'll just share it real quick because I'll be doing my own thing on
tell
it.
Tell us about your book. Because
you
know, going back to that, we had a very powerful conversation, and I was really impressed actually with what you've done, the idea that you came up with, and you know how you brought it across, and you know you were explaining it to me that, you know, even the suggestion as I was saying, you know, what if you're like, yes, man, the plan for that. Talk to us about the book and you know, just kind of walk us through.
All right, so real quickly, a few years ago, I was depressed. I was stressed out. I had an accident on Spur Tree Hill. I was in a bus accident where the bus went off of Spur Tree Hill. Right? Yeah, I went off of the precipice. Luckily, I survived. I came out with just 2 ribs damaged and my foot damaged. But I was okay. I was bedridden for a minute, but I was okay. I'm good, man, right now. But it left me depressed because they stole all of my equipment from the accident scene, right? And
shameless.
Yeah, man, it's sad, man. It's sad bad. I've had rough experiences. But what happened is that It left me depressed. And so what usually helped me were going back to the Stoic teachings. I used to love listening to those things because they help to calm me down. So what ended up happening is that every time I listened to it and I came across a quote that was just powerful, I wrote it down. I wrote it down. And so after a while, I've had friends who've had bad moments, right? I call it bad moments. Them have them bad moments, and what end up happening is like they're stressed out, depressed, and whatever. And I'm talking about people like yourselves who are very ambitious, who want things, who want to sit down on the corner, roll up them and them to something, right? Not about people who have big corporate jobs. Not about people who they're in politics and all kind of stuff, and like leaders in a big spaces, but they're stressed out. But as leaders, as men especially, they can't go around to nobody and say, you know, so me feel bad because they're the people that people look up to. So
I know, I wrote a song about that, you know. So where the strong one goes, where do a strong one go when they're dying inside? Because there's no really nobody to go to, everybody I look to you.
Exactly. Exactly. And what happened is, more listen to that something. And what happened is, right? What happened is that you find that people, you suffer in silence, and then that kind of raises the suicide rate and all kind of stuff. But you see this person, he's smiling, and I'm tired of seeing actors, singers, all these type of person who commit suicide and who depressed, and the way you see men acting out and them like a stop there. So the idea came because I was having a conversation with one of my friends, and he was talking about how it was him and his girlfriend have an argument and so forth, and it was a big deal. He couldn't focus at work and so forth. And so I sent him a few of the quotes, and he was like, yo, bro, thank you. And he posted them one by one on his status. And then people started sharing it and all kind of stuff. And them I say, yo, dog, them are bad. Even though some of them are my original quote and they never tagged me now, but it's all right. It's good.
It's all right.
Because it helped them. And that's what's important, right? So what ended up happening is, like, I thought about writing a book of quotes to help people, but then a book of quotes just don't make sense, right? So I decided to go even deeper. And so in the thing, I wrote the quote and I wrote an explanation, how I feel about it. I dived a little deeper to it to break down the meaning of the quote. I also ask you some questions to ask yourself. And then I also have this small space where I said to you, say, yo, you know what? Condense your thoughts and write it in this little space, because what end up happening is when you're having these moments, your mind is all over the place. But if you can condense it, what ends up happening is that you find the true root cause of the problem, right? I distract you with the quote. I help you to bring your levels down with the information from the quote. I ask you to ask yourself these questions, which triggers your brain to have a different response. Rather than being angry, you're now thinking. You're more relaxed. So I bring your levels from way up here to down here so that you can focus again. Because the book itself is called Unprovoked Thoughts, right? This is the author's copy. And what it is that you literally just, the book is only useful to people. You can't just take it up and read it. I don't want them. You literally just take out the book when you're having a rough moment, like somebody stress you or push you off on stage or something like that. You understand? And then just
it's needed. Yeah.
I read the book. But anyways, so what I you just take the book and you just open it to a random page. And when you open it to the page, I'll give the viewers this one. It says, we always work for a better tomorrow. But when tomorrow comes, instead of enjoying it, we again think of a better tomorrow. How about today? You understand? So, like, these are like simple things. So, like, when somebody piss you off or push you off or something like that, right? You want to have a moment where you level down yourself, right? So, like, quickly, next random page, boom. All right? It says, you can't be expecting your ship and yet you're on the hilltop. Faith without alignment is just fantasy. You get me? I say, and so that's why it's called, that's why the book is called Unprovoked.
I know what think while ago, yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. Exactly. Random page.
You can't give away all of them, you know.
Hold on, man. Hold it
I think it's like 180 something.
right? The book will be available.
Okay.
But watch out now. Boom. Okay, that one about the consideration you have for others. Do you have that same consideration for yourself? We always give people all away. We always stress out with self about these things like, oh, the same way you love your partner and you want to buy your partner this expensive gift and broke yourself, right? When last you buy yourself something nice, bro?
Yo.
Big man thing. You have your child, right? And you know see your child to go to school to get this thing, And that's perfectly fine. Get the thing for your youth. Make your youth good.
Yeah.
But you say you want one basketball from it. You say you want one nice little kickers. I want little clocks. By yourself. Have consideration. Love yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, nobody now gonna love you. Nobody will be inspired to love you because you don't love yourself. You get me? And that's really what the book talks about. The stuff like that is what really helps me.
I think somebody who don't love themselves, they can't accept love either.
You can't accept love because you don't know what love is. You know a version of love. The way your mother love you and your father love you are two different things. Because you have a female and you have a male. Two different feeling you get from both parents, The way how your auntie love you, Zane, and your uncle love you are two different love, The way your big brother love you and your little brother love you are two different love, You understand? So the way how everybody loves you is always going to be different. It's always based on their own, what you call it now, their own analysis, their own thought process, their own perspective. And also, more so, people will love you based on how they receive love. Until they become more self-aware, they will only love you based on how they receive
based
love.
on how you treat yourself. So.
There we go. And again, go back to how you love yourself. You get me? I said?
Yeah,
so,
we have a different podcast about this.
I feel like, man.
I'm going that type of energy there.
Every single
I'm
quote.
going to talk about this now. Part 2,
conversations we can spark from it. So that's really what I want to do with the book. It's obviously, you want to make some money from anything that you do, yes. I'm going to be doing a podcast as well about it called Becoming the Story, where I share how I became who I am and like how I overcame some challenges and so forth, using some of these very things in the book. How I came up with even some of these quotes. And like literally, I want to share to people that, listen, where you are today doesn't mean where you're gonna be tomorrow. Life can change in a really good mood. Say, the other day, nobody even know me too tough. No, almost everybody see me on the road. Almost everybody see me on the road. Yo! Suina! Or, yo! Serifia! Come on, bro. X is a link
That's
me.
life.
X is a link me.
Blink of an eye. It's how... Yeah. It's not what happened to you, but how you treat what happened to you.
Exactly. And I mean, for me personally, it's a beautiful experience. I'll say that much, because I'll be known today, and then tomorrow nobody will know me again. By next week, me are old news. You understand? Yeah. For me personally, what I say,
news cycle.
No man, yeah. What I say is not to ride the wave, but they have this thing. I'm full of quote. They have this story that says that if you are, I'm going to try to condense it as much as possible. You're the CEO of a company, right? Or you're like a politician, which is a big thing. You're a politician and you can give people all of these things. You can give people jobs, opportunities, contracts, whatever. You can give them favors. But the moment you lose that seat of being a politician, the moment you lose that job of being the CEO of X company or Y company, is the moment you're probably of no use to them. So what they liked, what they respected, is not you as a person, but the title you held and the power that came with that title. So treat people good. That's naturally my perspective on life and on things. Treat people good. Treat people kind. You know what I mean?
I think you're giving us so much to think about, and to be honest, one of the things that I'm excited about just from listening to you speak about the book and explaining how it works is, just having the book and actually, well, I'm not looking forward to a bad day, but we know it's gonna come, right? But having a bad day and writing down my thoughts, and I'm very interested to see if I happen to skip back to that page in the future. you know.
You see what happened?
You know, what kind of impact that's gonna have on me reading, you know, what I thought about that bad day and the fact that I've overcome it. I know I'm at this next stage and I have the experience, so now I can say I've been here before and this helped me to get over it. So it's like I have experience dealing with this situation.
Before we wrap up,
definitely,
before we wrap up,
definitely looking forward to that.
Trust me, we are going to pop up part few.
Hey, we're there about
the books. But before we wrap up, I remember I was going through a rough time in my life. Everything was going wrong that could go wrong. I'm a link on a bridge and me arrange with him, and I thought the man never really cared when him said this. You're not going to dead enough. Yeah, man, you're going to live. This brother, I tell this. I say, yeah, man, this is going to pass, man. I got to remember it, man. So whatever you're going through, you know, I think for you sitting there watching, just tough it out. And once you pass it, you're going to look back and say, I made it tough out that stuff. Yeah. Reflection of the mirror. Kommon Cents make it make sense. Dario, thanks for joining us again.
We're have you on again.
Yeah, Kommon, I put there. Spark a different interest. So,
no problem.
What's the name of the book? What's the name of the book again?
The book is called Unprovoked Thoughts, a reflective journal of unfiltered truths, silent battles, and the healing power of now. And if I were to leave you guys with any words, I will leave you guys with my main quote, which is, in all things, choose to give thanks, no matter how the sky may choose to fall upon you. That is a quote that I live by.
That is, give God thanks, man.
Stress out a little bit about it. It's in the book.
Yeah, you're human. You're human. You have to stress with it. I respect. Kommon Cents, make it make sense.
Until next
time. If you want to see our next episode of our reason with Dario, let us know in the comment section. We're going for the